Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Wherever you call home, we are there. In favorite places. Large spaces. For many homes, we have coverage that fits the way you live. And with our home systems protection, you can cover major home appliances and more. We cover more type of homes than ever. Get the coverage you and your family deserves. For a free no obligation quote, visit us online or simply give us a call.
We're back at you in Gloves Off. And today I got a great guest, good friend of mine, knife maker, and one of the best Bowie knife makers in the world. His name is John Fitzen. How you doing, my brother? You doing good?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. How's everything on your side of the world?
Not too bad. Struggling left and right, but I still have the long-term COVID in my legs. But I get up every morning and start kicking.
That's the way it's supposed to be. As we get older, every year it kind of puts a toll on us. And you can't quit. You just keep on going forward.
Well, what's the hardest thing is being handicapped and so damn good looking. So you want to see some Bowie knives, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about Bowies, because a lot of people out there always, especially here in Texas, you can carry a Bowie.
You know what? And really, it's funny. I think there for a while they were illegal in Texas.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Quite a ways back. But now you guys can carry a Bowie and have it sharp on the back and the whole nine yards, which is great. Great.
For
if you're going to carry one knife, that would be the knife to carry.
Absolutely. And I have some of yours, and I always tell people, and especially when we teach, I always ask what type of bow, and they go, it basically depends on you, your hand. There's a lot of little things that go into it. A lot of people want a big Bowie. Some people want something with a coffin handle. Some people want something a little bit more pointier, some thicker. But show us a little bit of what you have, because you're the man behind this.
Well, I'll show you the ultimate right now. And look at this big beast.
That's nice right there.
Look how thick that is. Now, it's almost a little bit too thick. It's almost a little unwieldy, but if this hits an arm or a leg, you're taking it off. And I'll show you something really cool. Look on the back there. Can you see what that is?
Nice. That's nice.
Jim Bowie.
That's Jim Bowie.
Yeah, this has a wrought iron guard, real wrought iron guard. They haven't made real wrought iron since the 60s. And it's brass backed. It's 01 and mild steel. There's over 600 layers in this. It's a beast. And it just, has a nice back cut. This would be I don't know if you ever showed people, the way they used to fight with these, would hold them upside down.
Yes.
Because that abrupt edge will cut you faster than the front one, And then the brass is actually to catch a blade. But the crusadas here are to, I got the pipe going around bugging the hell out of me. The guards are actually to catch a blade. Then you got the Spanish notch to catch a blade. Now, people go, oh, yeah, you're going to catch a blade. It's easier to do than what you think, to catch a blade. It takes practice, like everything, but this, it's 12 inches long. This is red stag handle, and it's beautiful with the coin. I'll show you another thing that you'll like, and it's kind of your heritage. Look at this big mother.
You see, move it back
Look
a little
at
bit.
that.
That's nice. That's a nice
It's a
Navaja right there.
Navajo. Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
making,
you're right.
and you're making those Navajas?
Yep. Made this is same thing, 01, mild steel, 600 layers. Look at that Damascus.
Absolutely.
And it's semi-brass back. Isn't that cool? And that's 1/4 inch. And red stag, also pieces. And then nice little skull on there. And then you have the little gargoyle. And that's kind of a thing of mine right now that, God, this darn fly keeps getting in my face. Kind of my thing right now that I adopted that. So anyway, but isn't that beautiful?
That's nice. That's beauty. That's a beauty right there. Now, for people
Yeah,
out there
yeah.
that are interested in knives and want to buy a knife, how can they get a hold of you?
Just give me a call. Give me a call at 801-918-3725. And this is the sheath comes with, has a Spanish doubloon on it. And the knife I've been carrying lately is this one. Look at that.
That's nice. Well, I got one similar like that you made me a while back.
Yeah.
And
I'm making deals on knives now because people just don't have the money, and
Yeah.
I need to sell some stuff. So my prices have dropped down quite a bit, So something like this big Bowie used to run around $2,500. I'll let something like this go for 15 now, and this like this. You go for around 12. I'll let it go for 8. And what's that?
And what people don't understand that these are hand forged, and
Yeah.
And not only that, it is what it is. It's a fighting knife.
Yeah. Now I have one of these for sale right now. It was the very first one I built, but it's not as thick as this. Okay. It's a little bit better wielding than what this one is. But I mean, you want something that when you bring it out, people just shit their pants. They go, my God. I mean, look at that. You bring that out, it just stops the fight. But we do all sorts of stuff. We're actually doing a thing. We're doing videos. You can go to Fitzen Knives or Stall Knives on YouTube. But we're doing a thing. It's called Unite. It's a store in the Southtown Mall in Salt Lake, and they have bulletproof vests, medical stuff, you name it, in that shop. And the patches they have this guy do is so cool, but they have so many neat things in there. But we're doing sharpening there on Saturdays from 11 to around 4 o'clock. And we're going to be doing a lot of other stuff too, and showing people things we're doing. We're doing a bunch of different guns too. You remember I do a bunch of custom guns. I don't know. Did you ever see that STI that I did with a Caspian Damascus upper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to carry left and right. But yeah, we're doing another STI and a 40 full size. We're doing a Poly 80 Glock. That's in a 10 millimeter. And, also, hey, I need you guys' help. I need you guys to go to Faces of Halloween and vote for me. I could meet Jamie Lee Curtis.
Make a
And
knife, make a Michael Myers knife. That's what you need to do for Halloween.
there you go. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, go to and pull up John Fitzen and give me a vote. God, set me over the edge. I could use it and everything. So
We'll do that. We'll
anyway,
tell
but
you to go up there and click. But
yeah,
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions because a lot of people always say, "What do you look for in a Bowie?" And I say, "Let me ask John because what I look for, you've seen what many people are looking for. What is the most common things that people are looking for in a Bowie, and what do they want?"
wield well in your hand. That's the thing. When I have a person, they get a knife or something like that. Now I have most of my knives done up to where they can feel one in person. And the big thing is that I tell them, I said, take it, put it in your hand, just look away. Feel like, see if it feels like an extension of your hand, and if that feels good like that and it wields easy, and you can do snap cuts and different stuff, that's the blade you want. Not everybody likes the same type of length of blade and all that. It's funny when a guy orders a knife, I'll ask him, I say, what's your shoe size? And they go, what? Why do you want to know that? Because I can tell how big your hand is by what size of shoe you have. But, so everyone's different. Some people like a real deep, squedge. And some people don't like as deep as squedge. I like a deep squedge, because it can roll up on the skin. So, but main thing is how it feels in your hand. Well, like I said, grab the knife, look away, feel it, and if it feels good in your hand, great. And also, you guys, there's a lot of knives out there, production knives, Bowies that are great.
Yes,
And I actually I've taken a bunch of cold steels and redone them and saved some people some money. And God, they just love them, the Ontario and different stuff like that, you know, they all make some really good knives. So you don't have to go custom.
absolutely. But there's a lot of I guess the craze is now that they allowed the Bowie to be legal again.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
yeah, yeah.
figure out how to use it, why to use it, why to carry, how to carry, and so on and so forth. And like you said, it's all in in style and preference of each individual
Yeah,
and how
yeah,
the
yeah,
individual is taught.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
carry, how you're going to carry a knife. Period. And people need to
There,
understand that self defense also means weapons, and you have to be
yep,
able to use a knife to be able to defend yourself against a knife. Because if you do not know how to use it, believe me, you're not going to defend yourself against it. So,
exactly. Yeah, it can harm you more than it helps you. There's some books out there. The books on Bowie knife fighting, and it's old school stuff from Jim Bowie and different stuff. Highly recommend. You get. You're here in Utah or something like that. I do training seminars, show you how to use it. I can work with a lot of people, and man, they can go up against some guys and they'll eat them alive. I can teach them in 5 minutes some moves that are just, yeah. But I'm not looking to do the coup de grace on you. What I'm looking for is anything in my area that I have right there, that's mine. And I'll sit back and some guy's coming in, I'll pop them. I'll pop their hands. What's coming closest to me at the time is their hands. If you pop off some fingers, it's done. you know. And so anything comes in my realm, that's what I'm hitting. That's one of the easiest things I can tell you. But get those Bowie knife books. There's one that's 1 and 2, and it looks like Jim Bowie on it. I can't remember who puts them on, but you can look up. I think even on eBay, Bowie knife fighting, and they'll come up, and they're good books. Another thing is on Bowies, 9-inch to 12-inch is your very best Bowie. We did some tests on, went down to a slaughterhouse, and they're 1/4-inch thick blade, but a 9-inch blade will almost take a leg completely off. And but a 12-inch to 11-inch blade will take a leg. Yeah, you can go right through it. And so, but a lot of people don't want to carry that big. They carry about a 7-inch. This is around a 7-inch. You know, it's just easier to carry, but it will do some damage. You know, so
Absolutely. You know, and a lot of people do not understand that up to pre-World War One, New Orleans was the knife fighting capital of the world. There was a knife
yes,
fighting school and a fencing school in every corner. So a lot of
yeah,
people you understand that these are blades that were here, and it's a lot of those people that learned in those schools. They went off and had grandkids and so on and so forth. So a lot of these techniques are still out in America. So people don't understand.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
mhm. And blades like the Navaja that you pulled out and the Bowie were blades that were common use in the West.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know, they were very common. And you know, you like you said, there's commercial grade knives that are very very well done, and then there's custom blades and knives. And we're talking about custom, and we're talking to you about it because that's what you've been doing forever. And
oh,
you know,
yeah,
so you know, there's a lot of and what I like about the blades, because I have big hands, and what I like about your blades is that it's the weight, and not only does the angulation of how the blade is done cut, it's also the weight that's going to deepen the cut. And you can have a
exactly.
very short knife but has no weight behind it, and the person's wearing a leather jacket, well, it's not going to do much damage. So you have to understand about that, especially for self-defense purposes of it. You know, and
Yeah,
that's what we're.
the dagger was really popular back then, and but it just had no real slashing power. You had a thick shirt, you know. All they were basically is stabbing. But guys were learning fencing at that time a lot. And what is a fencing blade is a stabbing blade. And that's why they liked the stiletto, because it adapted to the fencing. And then the Bowie came out and just really changed things up. Really changed things up. You
It's
know,
also a
so what's that?
because the bow is not only it's a slashing blade, but it's also a thrusting blade as well. So
Oh yeah, you got the tip like a stiletto, but you got a cleaver. So it's the best of both worlds. I mean, and you know the buckskinners. You know, people. I've had guys go to me and they go, "Oh yeah, that's a big blade to take hunting," and they go, "I'd like to see you skin something out with that." All I do is hold high on the blade, and I can do everything. Plus, I can take a branch off if I need to for fire. You know, so the old buckskinners knew their stuff. That's why they carried big blades. And you know, back during Jim Bowie's time, everybody started learning, what going, wow. You know, in when Santa Ana was caught by oh God, what's his name? Not Travis, but
I'm
um
used to.
yeah, Sam Houston. Almost all those guys were killed with large knives when Sam Houston went in. And it was pretty, they said it was pretty wild in that, because, you know, you only had one shot with your thing. And then what comes out? Big ass knives. And a lot of those knives, in fact, there's a friend of mine that bought one, came from that field. and I can't remember how they found it, but it was an IXL. It was from England, and it was a large Bowie. And so, Bowie's reigned supreme at the time. So, but yeah, we
down here
we can learn.
And it was a Larga. That's how my uncles used to call it. My uncle used to call it, and just like you said, it was they taught it with the blade up.
Yep. My dad showed me that when I was younger. I'm looking, going, what? My dad. What started me out in knives? My dad bought a Ruana Bowie when I was born, and he paid $65. And that particular Bowie he made out of leaf spring of a Studebaker. And what would happen, that leaf spring, it would go thinner up through here, and it'd take the one part, and all of a sudden it'd go thick right up through here. And the balance of that blade, what it did, it's just great. But that same blade, I still have it. It's worth around $7,000 now. But Ruana had some really cool blades. They're still in business. Do high carbon steel blades or spring steel, and high quality, really nice. You take a look at those guys. But if you want something, just give me a call. Like I said, it's 801-918-3725, and you'll get me. Leave me a message or text me, and we can figure out what you want. And not only big blades, we do other stuff too. So
I'll leave John's number and everything on the description for you all to click on and look at his knives, look at his videos. Tremendous work that he's been doing for a very long time, and it's straightforward. These are American made. Support American made products. Support a small businessman. That's what we're all here for. And learn how to defend yourself. That's the only thing I can tell you all. Find a good instructor, start learning, get some good equipment behind you, and just do it as a pastime. Do it as something to make you calm down the mind and kind of stress yourself out a little bit.
Yeah, and guys, too, carrying a big knife will stop a fight before you get into it. I've had guys, all of a sudden, I'm having a hassle with some guy, and all of a sudden he sees this big knife in my side. He's down there going, they mellow out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's good talking to you, buddy.
It's great. It's great fun. It's always great conversation, things to learn that all the time, every time we touch base. So we leave you with this. John, you stay safe. You guys go out there. God bless you, and you all stay safe. Until next time, much peace.
Okay, and keep your edges sharp and your powder dry.
Always.
See you later, man.
Have you ever wondered about what happens in a martial arts studio? Well, you start right away by setting goals, building determination, gaining focus, building skills, all while becoming more fit, gaining confidence, and learning self-defense. Buitron Academy is a school where attitude meets aptitude. So give us a call at 956-401-4868.